Greetings to all my fellow watch enthusiasts on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else this video is being seen and shared. It's Sling Driver once again. Got a slightly different review for you today. Usually I review watches or talk about Florida Gators or spout off the odd political / social commentary now and then. Today I wanted to talk about watch winders. Now I use a lot of watch winders. I have many, pardon me, and I know that's a controversial topic, and I'm not going to get into the controversy of is a watch winder good for a watch or bad for a watch. Other than to say is I have quite a number of these watch winders. They're all from the same company, and I'm going to get into that in a second. And I have literally had no failure of any of my watches due to a watch winder. So, and my father, who is a collector as well and has a collection that is, to be kind, enviable, he doesn't have any problems either, and he's been using winders a hell of a lot longer than I have. So I'm not going to get into winder good, winder bad. For me, winder good. So I'm going to keep using them. Now, the winder that I have been using, and for the most part my father has been using for many years now, is from a company called JQueen. The letter JQueen, very simple. Usually buy these off of Amazon. I have two different versions here. I have the 6 watch winder with the storage along the bottom for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I have the 4 bay winder in the background, which I'll bring up to the forefront. And I apologize for the glare. Sorry about that. I'm shooting in my kitchen, on my kitchen table, so I usually shoot from here. Usually you can't tell that there's that much glare from that light overhead, but anyway, the reason I wanted to make this video is because recently JQueen did a customer service, well actually 2 customer service actions for me that I felt warranted praise. Because, a watch winder is, to be fair, it's a throwaway commodity. One of these motors burns out under here, or something happens to the mechanisms. These are inexpensive enough to toss them. Now, that's not to say that I like to toss away money, but it isn't generally worth it to fix one of these things. I buy these on Amazon. The 6 bay ones usually go for about $160. The 4 bay one over here generally goes for about $130 or so. Prices vary a few bucks either way, depending on the day and so on. But generally they're inexpensive enough so that if one motor blew out and the other one was still good, okay, use the other one until the other motor blows out and then throw the thing away. I mean, they're nice construction. They're solid wood. The pillows, if you will, as you can see here, trying to do this sideways here. They're leather. They're sizable. They have an outer ring like this, and the inner pillow like this. So if the watches you have are for size for a small wrist, you can take the outer ring off and just use the inner ring, and they look more like this. These storage ones. They're relatively small size. So no matter how big or how small your watch is, you're going to find a size to fit. They also have speed adjustments here. It's a 4-position adjustment for mode. Mode 1 rotates the watch for 2 minutes clockwise only, then goes dormant for 6 minutes and then repeats. Mode 2 goes 2 minutes counterclockwise, rest for 6 minutes and then repeat. Mode 3, which is the mode I use on all my winders, rotate 2 minutes clockwise, rest 6 minutes, rotate 2 minutes counterclockwise, rest 6 minutes, then repeat. So you get a bi-directional. And then there's mode 4, rotate 5 minutes clockwise, rotate 5 minutes counterclockwise, and repeat all that for 3 hours and then rest for 9 hours. So basically it's constant movement for 3 hours in both directions, and then it shuts off for 9 hours. Not really sure if that's beneficial to anything, but maybe there are people smarter than me. Anyway, relatively simple devices. I mean, there's nothing overly complicated about them. I just find that these are really nice looking pieces. I mean, the bigger one has a little lock. They have nice positive, nice positive feel to them. They're well constructed. They're soft all on the inside. Nice leather linings all over the place. They even smell good. I mean, and they look good. I mean, they can be out in the public area. I mean, they have different finishes. I prefer this darker wood. And you could put these out in your living room on the mantelpiece, and they look really good for displaying your watches. And as you can see, I have my Squales on here. I have my Seiko Nemo Turtle. I have my Breitling Twin 60 Navitimer. I have my collection of 5 hammerheads. In the background here, I have my 4-spot with a bunch of vintage Seikos, 6139s, and my Thailand SKX, the SKX A65, which is a Thailand only release. Now, as to the customer service from JQueen, now I bought all these from Amazon. I was dealing with JQueen through Amazon, and then JQueen directly. I've ordered many of them. I've only ever had 2 hiccups. One hiccup was on one of these 4-place pieces here, which I really should bring to the front for you so you can see it better. I think you can see that a little better. Anyway, I got one of these 4-piece units, and for some reason, even though the box was sealed and the covering around, these ship in double-layered boxes wrapped into kind of a sheet foam and really nicely packaged, but for some reason the pillows were missing. These things. All 4 of them were missing. That makes the winder essentially useless. I contacted JQueen through the Amazon affiliate page. Nice lady named Vivian responded, and within a week they had shipped me 4 new pillows, no questions asked. You know, so they made it right. A week later, everything is good. Put that out of the way. Come back to the 6. Heavy sucker. Now, the other one I had, the other incident I had was very recently, and this was more serious. I ordered this one. Well, not this one. This is the replacement. I ordered the one that came before it, and I ordered through Amazon, and it came in a triple layer box. It came in the Amazon box. Inside the Amazon box was JQueen's outer box. Inside JQueen's outer box is the inner box which I wish I had kept so I could demonstrate that to you. That the inner box is where this is held. The outer box, the Amazon box, was undamaged. It was fine. The middle box, let's call it that, had a hole in it about the size of my fist, about that big, right through to the inner box, the white box that this was in, and through that. So it was a hole and then another hole. Now, this part was undamaged. The winder was undamaged, not a scratch on it. But this part of the turntable, this leather lined part, will come out. Now, I can demonstrate that if you'd like. I can pull that out, and if you give it a rotation, it comes out. See? And these things, all three of them, were lying scattered all through here, just like that. And then the lid was all on the inside, scratched up the entire length of the plexi here. It was all scratched up, was all torn up from, I guess, the shipping. See how easy that goes right back in? No problems. Anyway, and one of these turntables, I think it was this one, was not working properly. So I contacted JQueen again, and I took photos, and I emailed them with photos, and I said, this is not acceptable at any price. And it was Vivian again contacted me, and she said, no problem, we will send you another one. 2 days later, it showed up. UPS this time. Perfect boxes. All three boxes perfect. This was perfect. Everything was in place. Not a scratch on it. It was beautiful. 2 days later, and they said, you can keep the other winder, or you can throw it out, or you can do whatever you want. We don't want it back. It's defective. We don't need it. So I'm going to keep it as a spare, mostly for the motors. I mean, the motors, at least 2 of them are good, and the extra pillows and things like that. So I'm going to keep that, and if I need it, it's available. If I don't need it, I can always take it apart. But that, to me, is indicative of excellent customer service. And in this day and age with these disposable pieces and parts, that's really nice. I mean, it was customer service on par with the customer service I get from Zelos, quite frankly. And you all know that I consider Zelos to be, in my opinion, the epitome, the definition of customer service. Well, I'll put JQueen up there too now. They did right by me. They've done right by my father, and I believe in the product, and more importantly, I believe in the people behind the product. So, and they're not paying me. I'm not getting a sponsorship from this. They don't even really probably know I'm making this video. If they find out, I want to say thank you to JQueen and specifically to Vivian for working with me and standing behind your product. Anyway, I believe in winders. They do a good job for me. I frankly have a lot of watches, and if I had to wind them all the time, I'd probably make myself crazy. So I am a big believer in owning winders and using winders properly, doing your research, finding out what your watches want. Are they unidirectional or are they bidirectional? Do the manufacturers recommend not to use winders at all, or what have you? Do your research, do your own homework. Don't rely on me, don't rely on anyone. Do your own homework for your own information. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I've rambled on enough about this. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed a little insight into these devices, and quite frankly, a high recommendation for me on what you should buy, and where and what to buy. Buy it from Amazon. Buy it inexpensively, and JQueens offer these in different sizes and different numbers of watches that whine. I think they go from 2 to 8 at least. But I'm happy. So if you like the video, thumbs up, please. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, down there on the bottom, down there. I read them all, I respond to them all, I delete the nasty stuff, and I block the poster. I don't have time for that. And if you're not already a subscriber, please go ahead and click that subscribe button for me. Click the bell icon next to it so when I post new content, you'll be alerted. I'm trying to grow the channel. Trying to get to 1,000. I think 1,000 is a good goal. I'm getting close. I'd appreciate it if you'd help me out. Anyway, have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you in my next video.